The woman was about to drive home. A man suddenly came up behind her. He takes a plastic bag and puts it on. He pulls the plastic bag tight. The woman tried to scream for help but couldn't. She knocks the man over with the back of her head. After pulling the plastic bag off her head, she crawls and asks for help from a black man not far away. But the black man is wearing headphones and listening to rock. He couldn't hear her. Before the woman could crawl a meter away, the man put his hand over her mouth again. He threatened to kill you if you made any more noise. The man took out the tape and taped the woman's mouth. He also tied the woman's hands and feet with a tie. Just as the man went to drive the car, the owner of the car on the side came back. He didn't even see the woman on the ground. The car he drove away from made room for the man to park. The woman was then picked up and shoved into the trunk. At the traffic lights, a police car pulled up next to him. The man rushed to play it cool. In fact, he was very frightened. As soon as the light was over, he kicked the accelerator and sped off. After driving a short distance, it came to a house in the jungle. The woman is dragged into a secret room. The man tells the woman, "This room is made of 4 feet thick concrete walls and professional soundproofing. It's no use screaming at the top of your lungs." After the woman promised not to scream, the man prepares to pull the tape off her mouth, to get her to say her name honestly. But as soon as the tape was removed, the woman screams, "If you want to scream so much, then you can scream all you want." The man closed the door and left. He also turned off the lights in the chamber, checking the recording device. To make sure it was clear, he starts to clean up the blood on the floor. The woman rises from the chamber. She kept banging against the wall. She shouted at the gap in the middle, but to no avail. Then the woman went to the air vent, shouting at the top, and in the middle of nowhere. Even if her voice could reach out, there was no one out there. The man took out his pistol and loaded it. When the woman in the chamber was quiet, the man came into the room again. He first asked the woman's opinion in a gentlemanly manner. "Are we going to talk about business or are you going to keep shouting?" Seeing that the woman did not say anything, the man walks right up to her. The woman says, "Don't kill me. I have money and savings. I can give it all to you if you want." The man said, "I don't need your money." Then he starts waving the gun in his hand. "Do you want me as a person?" The woman is scared to death. "If you let me go now, I promise I won't say anything." The man asked the woman what your name is. The woman said her name was Kathy. Then the man walked out of the room. He starts looking through the woman's bag. There was nothing in it, except a bank card. There was no other information. There was nothing on her phone either. The woman tried to get free of the ropes. It didn't seem to work. Finally she switched her hands from behind her back to her chest. When the man came into the room again, the woman took the opportunity to hide behind the door and sneak up on him. The woman is kidnapped to a secret room. When the man opens the door to the room again, the woman is attacked and punched several times. Because her hands and feet were tied, the woman can only crawl on the floor. Before she could crawl a meter away, the man grabbed her leg again. The woman kicked the man in the face. Then she picked up a vase of flowers from the door. She smashed the man in the back of his head. The woman crawled on the ground and screamed for help. She came to the table and picked up the phone to call the police. Before the caller could get through, the man shot the landline. The woman banged on the glass and screamed for help. No sound could be heard from outside. When the man came to the woman with the gun, she rushed to bow her head and give in. She begs the man not to kill her. When the man wasn't looking, the woman grabbed something off the table and threw it at him. The man was knocked unconscious to the ground. The woman scrambled for her mobile phone in her bag. Unfortunately, there was no signal. The woman found a knife. After cutting the ties around her feet, she rushes to the door with the knife. But the door was locked tightly. At this point the man stood up again. Seeing that there was no way the woman could escape from the room, the man calmly sat down to eat. He invited the woman to come and have some too. The two of them chatted. The woman gestures with the knife and is reluctant. The man knocks on the gun on the table. The woman sits down. The man asked the woman again what her name is. The woman said her name was Kathy again. The man put a plate on it. He pointed his gun at the woman. But the woman shot the gun away. The woman starts gesturing with her knife. The man kicks the gun and pounces on it. He just knocked the knife out of the woman's hand. He was bitten by the woman again. Then the woman strangled him. When he was about to suffocate, the woman let go of her hand. Then she crawled to get the gun. The man who reacted dragged the woman back. And then he punched her hard. The woman fell to the ground and didn't move. The man went to pick up the gun first. Then he dragged the woman back to the secret room. While the man was eating outside, the woman woke up and saw a cracked tile. The woman woke up and saw a crack in a tile. The man came in again with the gun. He asked for her name and date of birth, place of birth, schooling, parents' occupation, etc. The woman answered all of them. But the man said he wasn't telling the truth at all, giving the woman another chance. The woman still says the same thing as before. The man gets angry and fires a shot. He shot the woman in the side of the head. If you don't tell the truth, next time it will be your head. This time the woman speaks the truth. Parents divorce. Twin sister commits suicide. Kathy was the name of her dead sister. Her name was Natalie. Studied nursing. She was a nurse. The man got the answers he wanted and left the room. She pulls out the phone she has on her person. She takes it to the air vent and finally gets a signal. But before she can dial the alarm number, the signal is cut off again. The man suddenly remembers the woman's phone. He searches for it and doesn't find it. He quickly went to the secret room. After taking it out of the woman's body, he smashes the phone to pieces with the butt of his gun. This time the man reveals the reason for the woman's abduction. It turns out that his wife had died in the woman's care. He just wanted to know why the woman had killed his wife. If she didn't tell the truth, she would have to die. The woman finally reveals the reason for what happened. She and her sister had been brought up to believe in fidelity. Her father repeatedly harassed her sister's best friend. When her mother found out about the situation, her father had simply abandoned them. The three of them could not stand up in the town. Her sister hung herself when she couldn't stand the situation. The woman hated this kind of infidelity ever since. During her time as a nurse, some of her patients would confide in her. And the man's wife actually had a boyfriend. And he visited her many times while she was in hospital. The boyfriend was tall, strong and handsome. A man who is unfaithful to his marriage is a sinner. So I just killed her. The man couldn't believe the truth. Went out to check the video of his wife's death. Found that when his wife saw the phone she hung up in a panic. And covered the phone on the sofa. The expression on her face became less natural. This was not an ordinary phone call. The man breaks down and keeps smashing things around the house. The woman is found picking up the broken phone from the floor. Using the broken phone to lift the broken tiles on the floor. The man returns to the chamber again, and asks the woman to go out and give herself up. The woman does not say anything. Instead, she responds with the broken tile. Then she kicks the man in the stomach again. She says to the man that I will not give up my life for you. After punching the man hard, the woman quickly ran out of the room. Not finding a gun, she grabbed a knife, ready to go back into the room and kill the man. But the man caught her arm in the door. Then the man took the opportunity to run out of the room. The woman kicked the gun out of her hand. The woman gestures with the knife. The man took the opportunity to slap her in the face. Then when he turned to get the gun, once again, the woman tackles him from behind. She slammed his head into the ground. Then the woman quickly grabbed the gun. The man didn't dare to move again. At that moment, his daughter and the nanny came back. The woman kills the nanny with one shot. Then she used the gun to take his daughter hostage. The man was terrified. He says to the woman, "Don't hurt my child." But the woman says to the man, "Are you sure it's your child?" The man is stunned by this. He promised that if she let the child go, he promised that he would never tell anyone about it. But the woman no longer trusted him. And she had called the police. The police should be here soon. How will he explain all this? The man said everything in the room was recorded on video. The police will see everything. While the woman was in a daze, her daughter bites her on the arm. The man tells his daughter to run. Then he lunged straight at the woman. He shot the gun out of the woman's hand. He grabbed her by the neck again, until the woman passed out. But just as the man got up, the woman got up from the ground again. The man shot the woman. After finding the daughter hiding in the room, the man unplugged the room's memory stick. The two men quickly made their way to the car. At this point, the woman pointed her gun at the man again. Only the gun was no longer loaded. The two men struggled beside the car. The woman stabbed the man in the thigh. The man slams his head into the woman again. The woman hits the man again. After a struggle, the man falls to the ground. The woman picks up the fork on the side. When she is about to give the man a final blow, the man holds on with his hand for dear life. The fork is turned with a jerk. The woman receives several blows in quick succession. She hits the door of the garage. The man turns around and dodges a few meters away. The woman is unfortunately crushed underneath. Finally, it's all over. The man holds his daughter, who he doesn't know if she's his own. The police car arrives just in time. This is the end of the film. A film that could have ended in a few minutes. Finally, the film has gone on for an hour and a half with the director's bad intentions. For more great movie commentary, please follow me. Bye.